Hello, my Eggy peeps. Time for another Eggy review for you. This time, it is 10 Mile Music Hall in Frisco, Colorado, and the date was yesterday, Saturday, whatever date that was. I think it might have been the 12th of April. But either way, let's get into it. So, great little venue, good sized stage, very modern facility. They opened up with Smile. Jake was a deep dive right away into the guitar, and interplay with Donnie was really cool. There was like a really crisp ending to it, and it definitely had this like West Coast kind of a vibe in my mind. And then they went into Laurel, another new song off, presumably off the album that's coming out. And that Laurel song, obviously Laurel of LA, to me also has a West Coast overlay. So the first two songs were like a west of the Mississippi vibe. Another crisp ending on Laurel, and then Sweat Equity. Alex clicked off, click, 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 and away they went into Sweat Equity. A breakaway hit. I think that's going to be a really big one for them. It has all of the elements. It has the sing-along stuff. It has the catchiness. It has the jam potential. And it's a song everybody can relate to. So I think that's going to be a big hit for them. But there was just like this waterfall of notes. It was a Mexicali blues, kind of a jazz kind of a vibe to that. And Alex just clicking off the beginning of that, knew instantly it was going to be that song, and it was just like a nice little ride. I got My Necessary Evil last night. Much like Atomic Age, one of my breakaway favorites. A cover song, yes, Unknown Mortal Orchestra. And wow, I just love how Jake comes in on that guitar. Can't get enough of that song. Reminded me of just like fire engines and sirens making music, calliope sounds. There was a lot of just meshing of all four instruments going on there. It was really cool. The next song was Letter to Myself. They had some microphone problems, it looked like. Obviously, it was pretty apparent there were microphone problems because Jake was belting it out and there was no sound coming through voice-wise. As consummate professionals that they are, didn't miss a beat. See what I did there? Didn't miss a beat. Just kept on singing into the mic, waiting for it to come on, and played the song. It's not a song I know very well, so I got to get to know that song a little bit better. But the rest of the night, I thought we were going to have instrumentals because it didn't look like the mics were coming back on. Sure enough, they got it fixed like they always do. And Jake was a little bit frustrated after that. It wasn't obvious, but I think it was, apparent that he was just a little bit frustrated because the next song, You, he seemed to be a little bit harder on his strings, just a little bit more aggressive in his play. And that was really cool. There was an interesting thing that happened in the first set. Maybe I'll get some pictures up on Green Eggs later, but the venue had a balcony all the way around the outside of the venue, and it was closed. They weren't allowing any people up there, but there was a back stairway near the bar. And about halfway through the first set, somebody decided to just take the chain down, and up they went. And that was awesome. It was like a little bit of anarchy happening in the first set because the inmates were running the asylum. It was cool. It was just nice to see people were taking it into their own hands. They're like, here, I'm here to have a good time, and nobody's going to stop me. So that was awesome. So yeah, balcony was stormed by the fans in the house at the 10 Mile Music Hall last night. You ended the first set. It was a great way to end the first set. A little bit of a sing-along there for everybody. There was enough repetitive chorus lyrics and stuff for people to sing along. And there was a decent amount of singing along last night. It was kind of cool looking around when you could, watching the guys play, and all of a sudden you're hearing voices and chorus behind you to a couple of the songs in the second set. It was kind of nice. And so, let's get into the second set. I have notes. Yeah, no, not all this is coming from memory for sure. So, they opened up the second set with 12 Pounds of Pain. This is one of their iconic signature songs. The notes were brightly separated. There was a lot of separation between the instruments, if that makes sense. You could really hear awesome all four tracks beautifully. the harmonies and the voices were great, and I don't know what's up with Mike, but he hasn't been moving a whole lot. And last night during 12 Pounds of Pain, he definitely got some bebopping going on. He was bouncing back and forth, smiling, moving. An absolute babbling brook of burbling bass coming out of his instrument last night. Jake kind of had a new sound in 12 Pounds of Pain too, a song we've all heard many, many times and know how it kind of goes. And so when you hear some little nuance or some little extra sound, it's noticeable. And last night, Jake kind of found a new sound for that song in his guitar. It was very, very nice. It was kind of like a merry-go-round, hoedown kind of a vibe. Buying Time was the next song. Wow, I love that song, and I love the teases that they do in there. I was just yelling, play it, play it, play it, when they were teasing other songs in that song. And then, Oh, What a World, another cover song. An artist I don't know that well. I think her name was Kelly Musgrave or something like that. I'm going to have to, we're building a playlist for stuff we're going to listen to on our 4-day drive home. But it's going to include the opening band from last night, the Runaway Grooms or something like that. I must say, Eggy has a lot of good opening acts. These guys were probably one of the top 2 or 3 amongst Funky Dogs and Muscle Tough, Hilltop. Actually, they've had a lot of really good opening bands. Seago and Stolen Gin is a really good one. These guys were right up there with the best of them. And then, what else? We had Bobcat. Oh yeah, What a World. So All Kinds of Magic is the kind of like the chorus or the catch line or whatever in that song, and you could hear people singing that too. Let's see. So Bobcat was the next song. Appropriate for up here, right? Like I feel like always in these mountainous areas and in these rural areas, Bobcat Flow and Backyard Bear are Northern Lights. Those are songs that could easily be keyed off of the inspirations around here. Bobcat Flow was an absolute lesson in musical progression. I don't know music. I'm not a music student of any kind. I've never played an instrument. Maybe I think in 5th grade I had a drum pad for a semester, but this was just a progression. You could see it, you could hear it, you could feel it. The building of the notes, the way even just the guys' hands moving on the necks of the guitars, you could actually see the progression happening before your eyes. The building of it was just, it was engineered. It was an absolutely engineered song and so well done. It wasn't a really psychedelic night last night, but Captain Trips made an appearance in Shadow, which was the song after Bobcat Flow. Real trippy sounds in Shadow last night, and they seem to be finding a zone of psychedelic sound that still has excellent rhythm and pace, and just takes you to places that you didn't think you were going to go. They ended it out, people went wild, and a minute or two later they came out for their encore. Donnie started off with a little bit of an English accent, so us people that have seen and heard a lot of Eggy knew what was coming next. But then Jake called an audible into the back mic, and out came Watercolor Days. And Donnie looked surprised, honestly. It was kind of cool because after that was out of their system, they did finally do Tom Corn Walker, and that's always a resounding way to end a show. And yeah, it was just a good time. Donnie with his little English accent, and the banter between the band members is always fun. So, without taking up any more of your time, that's an Eggy review for you. 10 Mile Music Hall, Frisco, Colorado. Definitely a good time. And we'll be at Steamboat Springs tonight for another one, so stay tuned for more. Peace out.